You wanna know what I think the best thing about Halo is? Why it's so popular? Why it's so loved? It's you. Yeah, you watching this video. You're the reason Halo is so freaking awesome. And I'm guessing you're wondering what I mean by that. And don't worry, I'm gonna explain. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Well, actually, I don't have a sponsor, so it's a word from me. I stream here on YouTube. This video's pretty community heavy, so I felt like it would be appropriate to let you all know that at least twice a week at pre-scheduled times I'll be live playing games and chatting with you guys. My favorite part of this whole YouTube thing is connecting with you guys, and chatting in a live stream, playing some of our favorite games is, I think, the coolest way to interact with the community being built here. So I figured I'd shout it out and let you know there's a link in the description to see my next scheduled stream so you can join in on all the fun. Alright, thank you. Back to the video. Halo fans, meaning you watching this video, are the biggest driving force as to why this franchise is such a powerhouse in the gaming industry. Or can be, or once was, whatever wording you want to put in there. To clarify, because I know there are weird arguments online about what constitutes a true Halo fan, and I think that's just anybody who enjoys any Halo game or experience that makes you a member of the Halo community. And that may sound straightforward, but I feel like there's a lot of debate amongst Halo fans about who counts within the community. But that's anybody who's cracked a smile playing Slayer, or has vivid memories pulling an all-nighter finishing the fight in 2007, or giving free-to-play Infinite a try and getting hooked by its ranked mode or smooth gameplay it provides. Or anyone introduced by their dad at 5 years old to the best game ever, Halo Combat Evolved. All of these people are true Halo fans who became connected to each other when they first saw a Halo ring.
First saw Halo. Were you blinded by its majesty?
Blinded?
Paralyzed? Dumbstruck?
Halo has always been special to me through the way it connected my father and I. The video up in the corner here, if you're curious. And I've seen all the review videos and retrospectives discussing how from a technical, narrative, social standpoint, these games are straight masterpieces. I'm also not the first person to make the connection that Halo is influential due to its social features and its prioritization, connecting people together through split screen and then later Xbox Live. However, I do want to add a unique twist to this conversation, as well as posing the argument that this trait of Halo is still very much alive and well, even if the newer games haven't exactly reached the old heights. Get it? Reach? I'm just kidding. Delete that. Alright, so why am I saying this? Why am I making this video? In making this channel and posting a few videos as a beginner content creator, I've been absolutely blown away with the positive responses I've been getting across the channel. The comments from you guys on the Halo Dad video alone are honestly so wholesome and amazing to read that I want to take you through and look at them together and just see what I mean. But I did want to start by saying that there are so many more than the handful I've picked out to talk about here. And if you could, I mean, just take a look at them, read through them. There's so many awesome, wholesome comments here that I couldn't even think about trying to cover them all. But getting started, I've got the top comment from Tyler. Says, my dad told me to jump in a Warthog every time my mom was coming down the stairs so we could pretend we were playing a racing game. Great video. I'm glad the algorithm brought me here. I'm glad it brought you here too. That's such a cool comment. And a lot of the replies too look at like, did it work? Did it work? I assume it did for a little while, but not forever. But that's just, it's a funny way to go about it. And it's cool to read this sort of stuff, how everyone dealt with their moms maybe not appreciating or understanding video games completely. So the ways our dads would work with us undercover to try and get us to play Halo with them. It was just, I can't believe so many people had that same experience in all the different ways they did. The next comment here from Mr. Chilly Willy. My mom wasn't going to let me or my brother get Halo 2 because we couldn't play M-rated games anymore. My dad got it for us secretly because he knew how much we had played the first one and wanted it, but made us take it out of the cover art so she wouldn't see the rating. The plan worked for about a day before she obviously figured out what we were playing with everyone in the world talking about that game. Though she let us keep it, love you parents. That's awesome. And it ties into the first one where, like, you know, sometimes our parents didn't fully understand gaming and what we were doing and why it was so important to us as kids. And some parents did, like our Halo dads. And it's again, just another one with, like, hiding it from the mom for a little while. Like, it's just, again, so cool to see how similar so many of our experiences are. The next one here says, from Luke Ingalls. My dad played Halo with me and bought me an Xbox and everything. No TiVo though, he was in his 40s when CE released. We beat all of them up to Halo 3 on Legendary. He passed away when I was 15. Nothing can replace how special Halo is and was to me. So much joy and time spent together on split screen. That's exactly the feeling I have and keeps me connected to Halo. And learning that a lot of you have similar experiences is so cool, and why I'm making the videos and doing all this in the first place. I can't even explain how cool it is to know that some of you guys are watching these videos because of these sort of connections and how we have experienced a lot of the same things without even knowing each other. It's pretty awesome. Number 4, from Vincent. Bro, I teared up at the end hearing it all come full circle and reading all these comments of bonding with their Halo dads. I'm so sorry for your loss and thank you for sharing. Super lucky to grow up with Halo as a 7-year-old playing Halo 3 campaign on release day with my dad. There were so many times I would hold a shotgun and kill a bunch of brutes with my dad for him to be blown away with my reaction time as a young developing gamer. A year later he would get us Xbox Live, and that summer of 2008 was an even better time getting to enjoy peak Xbox 360 Halo 3 with my dad and older brother. Thank you so much for spending the time to create this video and give us all a chance bringing this light to our childhoods. That's so cool. I'm glad you liked the video, and that is so cool to hear. I know I've mentioned it a few times, but I've kind of missed that peak of 2008, and I kind of love living vicariously through you guys and your comments on getting to play Halo 3 during that time, because the closest I got was when they ported Halo 3 to PC and the multiplayer had a surge, and that was a lot of fun. I could only imagine what it would have been like for it to be 2007, have an Xbox Live, and playing it with my dad and brother. I couldn't even imagine how much fun that would have been and how impactful to me that could have been. And it's so cool getting to read it from you guys. The last one I've got from JG Zin. Hard to say as my Halo dad passed in 2020. I think my parents, mostly my mother, were the type that equated giving the kids stuff instead of personal time meant something. Yes, my dad was more into computers as an early adopter. We had a 33 megahertz Pentium as the first desktop. I was already well into Nintendo by then. We got a PlayStation really late, like perhaps within a year of the PS2 coming out. The Xbox was just the next thing. Other families my parents associated with had one, so the kids would gather around while the parents talked, so it may have been a little bit of a status symbol. I can remember that for the Halo 2 launch, I was sick and wouldn't have been allowed to stand in line anyway. Figured I'd be really late catching up to other people playing, but my dad drove at least an hour, stood in line for like 2 hours to get me a steelbook copy of Halo 2, even though he didn't understand why I liked it or what was going on with the story. I guess he knew from the news it was a big deal, but that gesture for him to take time out and wait for something he didn't even understand just so I could have it makes me tear up a bit whenever I think about it. So new Halo dads, play with your kids too, even if you don't understand why big green guy goes pew pew. That's what we really want. But I still have that steelbook of Halo 2. That hits hard, man. That is so cool. That is so cool. Because even, the Halo dads or any, that didn't necessarily play Halo with their kids still could make something so impactful out of the experience of gaming. Just something like buying the game for them or going through the trouble of waiting in line. I can't imagine somebody who has no idea what Halo is waiting in the release line. That's insane. And that's so cool to read about. No matter how often bad examples of negativity or toxicity within the Halo community are highlighted on the internet, I'm looking at you, Twitter, I know the majority of the community is made up of those of us looking to make wholesome and genuine connections through our shared memories within these games. All I'm trying to say here is that it should be discussed more often and celebrated, as it's way more common to find positivity than negativity within the community. While I know other gaming franchises have their moments forever pressed in the mind of those who played them, like how Call of Duty will always have that "I remember when I played No Russian for the first time" moment. A video looking back at the heyday of Call of Duty, and even a discussion of all the memories made on multiplayer, might not always carry the same weight as these discussions on why we play Halo. Where everyone got their start with Halo, what memories they have of who they played Halo with. Call of Duty can do that, but it doesn't seem quite as powerful, if you know what I mean. The fact that you have these Halo memories and are so willing to talk about and share them, and that they have the power to bring back such intense feelings and even tears as you type them, and even pulling tears from those who read them. This is what uniquely makes Halo the most special franchise in gaming. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos and giving comments and telling their stories. It's really been awesome to see this type of response as such a small channel learning their place on the internet. And if you want another look at how we, the players, can make something special, take a look at this video on why the 360 was so special of a generation.